You've probably seen them selling on eBay, maybe standing out at a yard sale. Good morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector. I'm talking about Peloton bikes. Yeah, Peloton's struggling right now. In fact, Peloton is planning a third round of layoffs. They're going to be closing down some retail showrooms, and they're going to raise the prices of their workout equipment next year. I guess that pandemic Peloton craze seems to be more than over for them.
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I no longer ride my Peloton. I no longer ride that bike. Instead of paying for a membership, I think I'll ride a real one outside. I'm riding on my bicycle. I'm riding near and far. The only problem with my bicycle, trying not to get hit by a car.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Experts are warning California could be hit with a giant mega flood. On the bright side, there will finally be enough water to put out all the raging wildfires. Today is National Relaxation Day. Okay, great, but please, I'd rather not know how Deshaun Watson is observing it. A woman spent $60,000 on cosmetic surgery to look like Kim Kardashian. I know it sounds like a lot, but Madonna can afford it.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Northeast PA's Classic Rock. I'm Rock 107's Prospector. Hope you're having a great Monday. We have rules for things. That's how we in a society function. There are certain rules we all adhere to, some better than others to help us get through things. And concerts are no exception. I'm going to go see the Chili Peppers in a couple weeks. My sister-in-law and I were talking about it and got into a discussion about wearing band shirts to see the band. And it got me thinking about one of my favorite concert rules, best encapsulated by Draws in the movie PCU.
What is this? You're going to wear this to the show. You're going to wear the shirt of the band you're going to go see. Don't be that guy.
Now, I follow that rule to a T. I don't wear the band shirt that I'm seeing the day I'm seeing the band. That's just me. You can have your own rules, and that's what I want to know. What are your concert rules? That's what we're talking about this morning. Shelly Ann on Facebook.com/Angry Prospector says, help anyone who falls in the pit or otherwise, or anybody who needs assistance. I like that. Help people out. TA says 2 rules. Enjoy yourself. And number 2, don't be a D word. All right. I think that's a good rule as well. On to the rock lines. What are your concert rules, Rock 107?
All concerts must include alcohol.
No matter what, huh?
That's the number 1.
All right. Is there a number 2 rule, or is that it?
It's just about it.
That's the big rule for him. Other people have different rules. Ian says you got to wear the shirt of the band, and definitely not a shirt of a band that isn't at the show. Ian and I are opposite on that one. He says, also, my friend and I go to every concert with, we have this thing we do where we don't listen to the bands we're seeing for 3 days before the show, which may sound weird, but I feel it adds a little extra hype for the show. Heather checking in, Facebook.com/Angry Prospector. Under no circumstances do you listen to the music of the band or bands you're seeing on the day of the show until after the show has ended. Open mic on the Rock 107 app. What's your concert rule?
Number 1 rule, do not wear a t-shirt of the band you are going to see. And number 2, always carry your ticket with you. You need to get back to your seat.
Yeah, see, that's a good one. Carry the ticket with you because you never know. A couple of people checking in with rules about slam dancing, and Todd says 1 rule if you're slam dancing, don't be throwing elbows. And don't hit people who aren't aired to slam dance. You can see them. They're the ones who are lining to watch. That's a good advice there. Open mic, Karen from Warrior Run in on the rock lines. What's your concert rule, Rock 107?
Well, for the concerts, have a good time and remember where you park.
That's a good rule there. You want to make sure when you're going home, you know where you're parked so you're not wandering the lot like a moron afterwards. Concert rules, Ralph says, don't grope or go for cheap feels, especially in the mosh pit or with crowd surfers. Just don't be a creep. Hey, that's a good rule for everyday life.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
An 87-year-old Florida woman's chihuahua named Goofus went missing in South Carolina last month. He ran into the woods after a car accident and no one could find him. Eventually, the owner had to give up and go back to Florida, but then someone who'd seen a Facebook post about it got in touch more than 2 weeks later after Goofus showed up at their friend's house. And then they drove them hundreds of miles to Florida the next day. Goofus is back home now.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector. What's a Yambag? A fool, an idiot, a blockhead, a dunce, or an ignoramus. You know, a dullard, simpleton, or a clot, nitwit, dipstick, pea-brain, mouth breather, or cretin.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yambag of the day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
Here are the nominees. Nominee number 1.
This seems like something out of a Sinbad movie more than real life. Back in May, an 18-year-old in the United Kingdom named Joshua Dobson stole a car, then got gas for it, but he drove off without paying for the gas. Police finally tracked him down last month and searched the place he was staying. And Joshua was there, but he had a pretty clever hiding spot. He'd cut open a giant stuffed animal, a teddy bear, and climbed inside of it. The police did find him, though, when the officers noticed that the teddy bear was breathing. Joshua was just sentenced in court. He got 9 months in juvie. A police spokesman had a little fun with it, saying he's now, quote, stuffed behind bars, and hopefully he has a bearable time inside.
Nominee number 2.
Committing a crime to stop committing another crime generally doesn't work. A Florida man was picking palmetto berries in the woods near Orlando. Then he came running out with a machete. Oh, and he was naked. He demanded the clothes, wallet, and phone of a surveyor who was in the area doing work. As the surveyor began to hand over his items, the naked man hurled the machete at him and ran away. The surveyor was hit by the handle of the machete but was not seriously injured. The man, still naked, took off in a white Dodge Challenger. A sheriff's office helicopter spotted him outside a gas station down the road. Police eventually took him into custody without incident.
And the winner is
the naked guy who demanded another man's clothing and then threw a machete at him and then left without the clothes anyway. You are the Yam Bag of the day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.